All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Of course, it is Monday, and you know what that means? A lot more trading to go this week. Fake market futures are open. They're green. Cardano fans are running riot in the American streets, maybe all over the world. Cardano obviously having a stellar weekend along with many cryptos. I hope you guys have done well in the crypto space, the commodities, the cryptos, the currencies, and even the indices had some good day trades on them and general investments, but the stocks all over the place. Yeah. they're not the best right now, guys. It's up, down, all around. We had some big rallies there through the Friday session. Obviously, we covered that in the weekend video. Unfortunately for the bears, they didn't quite come through with the salmon, but maybe they will soon. So let's get into it. Let's find out what the bears and the bulls are trying to do this week. And we'll start off by talking about the indices. I hope everyone did have, again, a great weekend and things are going well. Sorry about being a little bit late there. Unfortunately, a few little technical difficulties today, but we're all good now. We're all good now. So we've got some people coming in here saying Finken79 says, I'm way too green in the market futures, sweats nervously. Yes. As we know, the fake market futures are the real deal, aren't they? Whenever they've opened green, they've gone red. Whenever they've opened red, they've gone green. And we're at the tippity top of the Nasdaq. Big rally here through the Friday session. I want to just start by talking about the fact that I still think we're stuck in a neutralized market. And why I say that, because you can see here from the Nasdaq that we've got a resistance up here. This is the US 100. We've got a support that was found on the 50 exponential. We talked about the SPY 50 exponential. We'll go through that soon. And we know that if we close above this, unless it's some kind of fake out, I mean, the bulls are back in full control. We also know that this makes a range. I mean, we've got resistances, we've got supports, we've got the range that most people look for when they're trading within, a channel with something like that. So what do we expect from today? Let's go into the 1 hour and have a look at the current price action. So the current price action stopped just before the top resistance. It's kind of finding resistance around this 15,150 area. Do we have trades here for the day trade? Well, let's go down into the 15-minute and have a think about it. It's not as clean cut as I guess it has been on Friday. We talked about this level when we had Tyrone on the show. We talked about from there to there. Very good trade. Talked about 15,000 plus being a very strong sign for the market. The market bulled heavily off that. Came back later on in the session and then, of course, got a role reversal. Resistance becomes support. You see it. That's the type of action that I like. What do I like up here, though, now that we're at the tippity top? Well, ideally, we would see decline, pull back, decline again, and get our lightning bolt, our peak, our trough, our LP. And that would be an ideal kind of scenario from a swing trade, well, not a swing trade perspective, but a day trader's perspective around the resistance. For the channel to hold up, that's what we're looking for. For people that are going bullish, really all you need is another big green day. I mean, if you're already in long and you're just sitting there going, it's easy to buy the dip, guys. BTFD every day, every year, all the time. We don't really care what anyone has to say because we just buy everything when it comes down. If that's your plan, then what you want today is a 15,200 close. I mean, if you can have one of those, why not take it? That would be very, very sweet because then you start to open up the idea that the Nasdaq won't be pulling back for a little while. Got this big giant range here. It goes to like a 15.6 level. We go out to the weekly and then you're starting to talk about hitting up our longer term kind of trend line here. Look at that. See how it meets perfectly? It's a beautiful thing, guys. If that is what the market chooses to do, we can't fight it. And this is what I say by put your opinion at the door, because my opinion, your opinion, statistical facts, things like this don't matter if the price action doesn't come with it. If the bears want to get control of this market, you dump underneath this level here, you close under here, wowzers. It is going to be so weak. It is going to be so weak if that happens. Thank you very much as well for the likes coming in today. Appreciate that. LFXS says, don't fight that Fed. Yeah, well, look, we've always talked about being an optimist is the best thing in the markets. It's easy to be an optimist in the markets. You find dips, You find key kind of support levels. Remember, you don't just buy falling knives, guys, on stocks. You can maybe buy a dip in an index and probably never really be that wrong, if this makes sense. But if you're buying specific stocks, you really, really, really need to understand what a falling knife looks like and when accumulation begins, because you don't want to be stuck in the barber. You don't, I'm sure there's a few out there that are stuck in the barber, but you don't want to be stuck in the barber while the rest of the market's going up thinking, what have I done? I've unfortunately caught this dip and the dip keeps punishing me. That's not what we want. So remember, individual stocks, more of a buy the accumulation base. Indices, you can practice by the dip in certain scenarios. So let's move over to the US 500. Let's talk about this one because I think this is probably the most clean cut for when we're going to have bears in control and when we have bulls. And again, bulls are currently sitting there looking pretty this morning. We need closures, guys, underneath this zone. So we've got support, 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 support. You see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We all knew the 50 EMA was there. We talked about it on the channel. It's the last level in between, really the bears getting full control of the market or not. So I would still always set alerts for these. You don't want to not be there. Let's say you take 3 days off the market. You're not watching the stream here and you're dealing with, families, dealing with country life, dealing with whatever else you're doing. The fact is that if you're not getting that alert, you're missing out on an opportunity. Now, I'm sure you guys check it mostly once a day, but if you don't, having the alert set underneath here will show you, oh, wow, I need to go and look at those markets again. So always set your alerts, guys, and be prepared for the next point. We've got Sandollar77 coming in with a $4 super sticker. Appreciate it, Sandollar. Thank you very much, as usual. Al FXS says, just buy Google, just buy and hold. It's a good company, man. We're on Google right now, sitting on YouTube here. It is a good company. Some very good stuff. Kevin N says Sandollar77 is Tom's personal barista. Yeah, pretty much. And then Sandollar77 says, love the great weekend report. Thank you. No worries. So you guys, just out of interest, are you enjoying the kind of switching it up here? Always appreciate feedback. If you guys do like, going into options a little bit, going into market flow, we can even bring up some algo flow stuff. There was a really good example, I guess, of algo flow happening on the Friday session, where algorithms continuing to buy, even though the price action is going down. It's like an algo discrepancy. You can use those types of things. Anyone in the private community, go watch my Monday Hangout today. You'll find out more about that. But if you guys enjoy this stuff, we'll bring it in. Absolutely. US 500 weekly, daily, 50, absolutely worthwhile checking out. Top end resistances remain these two trend lines. We've got the long-term community trend line and we've got this level. So are we out of the woods yet? I'm looking for the Nasdaq to show us the way of bull or bear, probably through today or tomorrow's session. Very close to this peak right now, 15,180 being kind of the top end range. Let's keep going around some of these other market indices. IWM, Russell 2000, obviously incredibly susceptible due to the financial nature of this market to the US 10-year. What's the US 10-year doing today? I don't think this thing has any idea what it wants to do, but it is up. It is up. Look at the two-day. You've got long leg doji here on the 2-day. So you've got indecision. You can clearly see it in any one of the charts. Closure above. Let's go bullish again on the 10-year. Closure below. Let's go bearish again on the 10-year. Probably a good trade or play for banks. So if you're a fan of the IWM, the Russell 2000, or you want to trade the finance sector, if you think you're reading something on the US 10-year, rather than trading just the 10-year, you could specifically trade the financial sector and do quite well. So remember, that's really what you're doing here. You're trying to analyze each way what really the finance, banks, and the rest of the market's going to do. David Taylor says, hi, Tom, any thoughts on the current market cap of ADA? Yeah, I noticed it was getting up there around that $100 billion side. We'll look at that very, very soon, David. Don't worry. Mark Godet, Singapore, $6.98. Hi, Tom. Do you think it's time to sell ADA or there is some upside left? The hype's real, guys. The hype's real. All these altcoins, not altcoins, the coins that are being formed on ADA, they're all up, 100%. Let's have a quick look at this chart. 281, big vertical here. Let's go to the daily just to get a bit of an idea. Let's go to the weekly to get more of an idea. Is this coin real? So I've never doubted Cardano. It was actually something I bought during 17. So obviously it had big players behind it. I thought it made sense. From what I understood back in 17, I remember that for me, it was all about the fact that I thought Ethereum couldn't be upgraded correctly. And that's why I was kind of thinking, oh, it'll make sense to go to the Cardano space. It's taken a long time for it really to go psycho like it has this time round. Because remember, if we had more data and you go back, let's see if we can get back here. Who would have the entire ADA history? I don't know who has the whole Bitphoenix. They got the whole history. No. Why is there no history in any of these things? This one? Nope. Useless. Coinbase? Even if it's versus this? I don't know what the hell is with all these charts being so useless. But the point is that yes, it's a legitimate coin. Is it legitimately worth what it just became worth? Very possibly. Very possibly. From the perspective of it's got a real base, it has a real following. And I've never seen so many people so bullish on it during that last pullback. Whether it was that Wyckoff guy on YouTube, I don't know, that called the Wyckoff distribution and then the fall, whether it was just the fact that people are getting hyped about the projects. I can't tell you exactly what changed, but the general premises of this particular network and the way that people were seeing it is it's got real hodlers. And as long as you have real hodlers, you can justify a certain base level. 281 or 282. Let's just quickly bring this up now. Jackson Hole this week, by the way, guys, if you're not aware, you need to always know that for your stock market trades. Look at this, 90 billion. Ethereum, 400 or close to 400 billion. So is this overpriced? Let's just quickly click on it. Fully diluted cap, market cap currently. Notice they're fairly similar. Very important factor when you're looking at coins. Remember, if you're looking at a crapper coin, when crapper coins are becoming popular right now, be careful because sometimes the fully diluted cap is insane and you forget that and it has to go into your psychology. So here we go. The chart at least shows here. So here's when it went to, I think it went a bit higher than that actually, if I remember rightly. But that's the 17 run. Then it went absolutely dead as a project in many people's eyes. And then it came through very strongly recently. I think it's here to stay. Whether 90 billion, it'd probably pull back a little bit because it's hyping into these events. Everyone's like, oh, did you see the network's coming? This. It's a buy the rumor and kind of like sell the fact event. So be careful from that perspective. This is a perfect case where you scale out and you'll get it probably at a cheaper rate later on. It's like any of these things that we've seen. They go into the event, you follow that, you follow the moving average, you follow whatever it's trailing on. So let's have a look at the 1 hour here. Looks like 1 hour 50 has been pretty good. More significant pullback came in here. Let's have a look at the 30-minute, maybe the 4 hour as well. Yeah, so you can just kind of like follow it by this 50, by the 20 as well. And then if it does show you the signs of weakness, which will be pretty much this type of thing actually. So it'll be like this. Peak, trough, lower peak. Then you might want to start scaling off some, get rid of some, and pick it back up cheaper. I think it'll get cheaper, but again, it's the serious coin. It's a serious coin. It's like Nvidia when it went nuts. Buy the rumor, sell the fact, move up after that. We've got Kim Langer coming in with $5 donation as well. At Facebook to pump calls at 5:30 and Airbnb to drop on the weekly. Quick analysis, please. All right, let's have a quick look at Facebook. I'll bring up the calls here for Facebook as well. Let me have a quick look at what's going on from Facebook's perspective. See a few people are using the algo flow in there. Good work, guys. Remember when algo, I'll show you what an algo flow looks like. So basically, this is the algorithms trading and then what you want to do. And then, of course, you've got price. So here's algorithms are trading up. Prices obviously decline. Now, if algorithms are still continuing to show very high score and price is down, let's say that's at your support or it's at a level you might want to buy it at, or you think that's, whatever, some kind of support, usually price action, and you've got discrepancy, it could be a very good buy opportunity. So to go along, remember these all help your TA. So I'll bring up now the Facebook details. Okay. So Facebook options, we've got big strikes here at 310, huge amount of calls expiring last week. So that's fine. Then we've got a 1.66 million and some negative options on it, and not that much else in terms of key strikes here. So I'm assuming you've found like a strike that's come through recently. Let's have a look at Facebook on the charts. That's the net off, remember, net positives, net negatives to show it. Really good trend line here on Facebook that's been happening recently. 50 exponential as well, very similar to the S&P 500. Notice it's the same type of thing. Do I love it? Not particularly. I think you've got to be very, very careful around a few zones. So the 50 exponential and this previous buy zone is super critical. If this tapped over, let's say it did come underneath here, you would have to have a stop loss here because it will go further down unless you're looking to hodl it. So be careful there. Where it gets huge participation, above 365. Above 365 closure, I believe it snaps that top off because at that point, you've got a nice, beautiful double bottom. Things are looking great. I like that a lot if that does occur. Check that one out. Airbnb. You're saying to drop. It's in a range. I've already got alert set at 155. Have so for a very long time. We've got the 130, 155. As I say, if something hasn't been on the market for 12 months in the US, I'm not a big fan of buying it. IPOs tend to take a while, but very clearly on the weekly here, you've got this really nice range. If you break the range, what you do is you take the distance of the channel, the distance of the range, extrapolate that out, and that would be your target. So your target would be about 180. I don't think there's a clear anything in here. Right in the middle, previously has been bought a few times through the middle, but it's also sold off. You know, coin flip at this point, Kim, you'd have to get down to the smaller time frames to see whether there's some, swings or something that you want to do. Sean Tay says, I have ADA staked for 2 months. No worries, Sean. Good luck and very, very cool. That's awesome. Welcome to the 1,035 viewers as well. Great to have you here this Monday. Silverliner says, good morning, Tom and all traders. Great to have you here, Silverliner. DJ AJ, $2. Nvidia uppy triangle. Is that a technical term, DJ AJ? The uppy triangle? Let's have a look at Nvidia. Really came through strongly last week. Okay, so an uppy triangle. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but I guess what you're trying to say is maybe like an ascending triangle or something like that. You've got resistance. You've got a closure that could happen today at 210. That would be very sweet. Now, most people, if you're thinking about this as a ascending triangle and the beginnings of one, usually you would have one last pullback before it closed through. It should go through before the last third. That would be ideal. The way I see this is you had a massive long leg doji, the decision was made, and that's why you're getting that pre-market boost through. What a lot of you guys are probably doing wrong, I feel, with your trading at the moment, is we always talk about the close is the key. Remember, we talk about long leg doji. We say it's indecision candle. At the correct point, if you get a closure above, remember in the last couple of minutes, you're going to see that closure and you're taking the closure. By the time it closes and the time it opens, sometimes there'll be a 2% gap. Like right now, we're looking at 1.26% up. If you miss that, that sucks. So it's not safe in some ways that you have to go over the time of a market being closed. But remember, you're taking that risk a lot of the time. You've got to think, what's your risk? What's your reward? Is it worth it to you? So maybe in paper trading, like demo trading, you can try strategies around the close. The close is the key, guys. It was a big game changer for me, and it probably should be a big game changer for a lot of you out there. Close. Not actually the open as much as you think. The open is not bad for initiating some day trades on indices, etc. But the close is the key with these stocks. Resistance here, if it does break through 210, I would believe it would come back and retest. So I wouldn't get too much FOMO on it. I think this stock will retest this time round. And that would be what I'm looking for, a pickup off the retest. Very nice. It is going strong. And valuation is now $518 billion. Wow. Kay Kennedy comes in here and says $9.99. Well, thank you very much, Kay Kennedy. Hello, Tom. Could you have a look at Mara? Double bottom, lightning bolt, and a 20 MA crossing over the 50 MA. Mara also has a breakaway from the downtrend on the daily, weekly RSI. Thank you. We'll check that out in a second. We've also got a few people that have been talking about Michael Burry. So Michael Burry is sometimes early, but he's been shorting TLT for 6 months. Sometimes early, 6 months. That's ridiculous. He's been getting smoked for 6 months, hasn't he? Well, not really. He's been getting smoked for about 2-3 months. Look, Michael Burry is often early. It's really I don't know how many. I've never actually looked at his track record. Obviously, he's famous for one big thing. How's his track record since then? I couldn't actually tell you because I never looked at his fund. The last 2 to 3 calls, he's been so far wrong. So far. Does that mean much? Well, a lot of people judge you only by your last couple of calls. I would judge more by less his calls and what is his actual fund doing? How much is he getting more funds, etc., etc. That might be worthwhile checking out. Let's check out Mara. All right. Double bottom, you say. Definitely good structured fall off. And yep, decent pullback here. Let's have a look at the weekly. It's pretty good. Wow, pre-market's actually huge. 6.92%. Yep. I like it. Did you get in here? This is a good case of scale. Scaling in off that would have been worthwhile. It does look strong. You've got to require this really is more of a Bitcoin play. So you need Bitcoin to come in good. Target would be about $45. Probably a little bit too much overpricedness here. Bitcoin, I feel like, has a problem at 51.5. So that might cause you a little bit of anguish. But yes, 45 makes sense. And it's trading at 37.76 this morning. You're correct. It's a 2050 cross. You're above the daily 200. All of the things that you've said, including, I'm sure, all of the indicators are playing out. I like it, but it really relies more on Bitcoin than anything else here, Kay Kennedy. Good luck. Good luck. John S. says silver drops 18% in 3 months. Yeah, it's been brutal, hasn't it? And then people are going crazy because it goes up 2%. Yeah, silver not in yet, guys, but commodities are very cool. And commodities certainly have some interesting facts. We'll be moving over to gold soon. Nice support here. Looking for the double bottom. I do not like silver until above 24. But when it gets above 24, could be an explosive metal here. Quite far down from where it's been. Remember, guys, get into the mindset. You're never going to pick the exact low. Well, sometimes you will, but that won't be necessarily. That might be more dumb luck or just because you like the stock and you want to buy it for an investment. When you're trading, it's about putting yourself in the best statistical likelihood of success. And to do that, you want to get into what they call the participation phase. That's the phase of the market that everyone wants to be in. That's the explosive growth market. That's the one that's more likely to move from one area to the next area. And when you get into those types of ones, it'll feel good because what will be happening is, especially in the Forex world, everyone will be doing the wrong thing. Or even if you see something like, I don't know, a Tesla and it moves through like 727 and goes up to the 780, everyone starts shorting it and getting negative on it. Yet you know that there's that participation phase going from here to here. That's the area that you guys want to be in. Was it really? I didn't know, SW. Interesting. Thad says TTCF. Let's have a look. Tattooed Chef. 2 hour. Yeah, this is about right for a double bottom play on Tattooed Chef. Yep, you are correct. Support, resistance, closed above, comes back. It's not super high quality. Obviously, you're buying something that's very much in the doldrums. You prefer it to come with volume. So let's have a look at the volume on the daily. Volume was up, which is good. But you are correct. Yes, this is the low, and that is the type of base formation you want, Thad. Chris Smith says, how long is the participation phase? It's all about you understanding your TA, man. So if you have a participation phase, by the way, gold did break out earlier. Let's just quickly go down here. This is a nice breakout for gold. Closure above 1800, pretty significant. Just quickly, I wanted to say this, and then we'll go into participation phase. Long leg doji, no decision made. Weakness, but no decision made. Lots of fake outs here, guys. Looking for the closure above. Nest level, 1830. This is basically a participation phase potential in gold. So what you're seeing is you're seeing a key resistance support. We know this is the key level, yeah? Then you hit a resistance and it stuffs around. It creates a consolidation. Then it breaks out. And the next level that logically makes sense for people to take profit is 1830. So what you start to see is you start to see algorithms piling in on top of each other and all the people feeling FOMO and all the people jumping in. It's like with a crypto. A crypto is the basic form of participation phases. Take a think about what's happened recently on crypto. When you're looking at it from a TA perspective, I mean, even Ethereum here, you know, closes up here for the end of the day. It could be on another big bullish run here. You close above this zone. Where's the next participation phase? It goes to 2650, hits 2650, consolidates, closes above, next level, 2866. So the participation phases are these zones between the resistances and the supports. So that's the level, the resistance here and the next resistance. That's the participation phase that you're trying to get involved in. John Moore says, how do we know it'll backtest that support? No way to tell, John. The only way you can do it, and this is talking about gold, is basically to go back over history and see how often it statistically comes back. If you went and took Tesla last year and you looked at all the previous breakouts, you would notice that any good breakout never came back. So because no good breakouts ever came back, you had to take it on the breakout. On gold, it tends to go up and down. And so usually you get a closure and it does come back. But if you're scared about those types of things, this is where scaling into trades becomes one of the more powerful things. You take half a position, you take another half a position, or you take a third, and then you take a third, and then you take a third. You've got to have specific ways of scaling in and scaling out of trades. A few people in the chat, let us know right now, how many of you have started practicing scaling over the last couple of months and it's changed your trading to go from potentially break even to actually profitable? It is a big game changer. Let us know right now. Absolutely. Tom Quimby says, wow, you finally sorted out your low audio volume. Change the software, sir. But thank you, Tom. Thank you. You got a great name, bro. What a great name. We want some Apple analysis. All right, let's have a look at Apple. AAPL. Firstly, always start on the weekly. Weekly, a giant long leg doji. In many ways, this will be the decision for the market, won't it? We've been stuck here on Apple for a long time. Long leg doji, no decision either way because it's inside. No decision either way. No decision either way. No decision either way because we're stuck in a channel. And then we get another one. Will we get the closure out here? I'd be pretty damn bullish if that occurred. Will we get the closure below here? You'd have to be pretty bearish. So Apple is a toughie. You're stuck in the middle of nowhere land. And therefore, you've got to start getting into the smaller time frames if you want to trade it. How's it looking on the smaller time frame? Actually pretty bullish. You've got here trough. You've got a peak. You've got a higher trough. And then currently, you've got it consolidating above that kind of peak or right around it. So it's just kind of coiling, getting ready for the next move up. With Apple, I would check algo flow. I would check option strikes this week. And if you are thinking of taking this, you've kind of got to start scaling out around that 150, 151 bracket, because at this point, it could very easily short on you. But yeah, overall looks okay on the charts. Smaller time frame only. Adrian Lim says scale out is the key, not just scale in. Absolutely, both ways. It's all about the both ways. Deb Goodman says no more sleepless nights since I started scaling. Great, Deb. That means you risk too much. Whenever you don't sleep well, guys, you know the truth. It usually means you're risking a little bit too much. But then again, I will say this. Usually, women don't risk as much as men. Men are crazy. They use the 500 to 1 leverage. Okay. And that means that most guys lose. But yeah, overall, if you ever can't sleep, sometimes you got to question whether you need to bring it back a little bit on that risk management. Monica Nakamura says, I did and it worked out. That was good. And then Ashwin doesn't understand scaling. He doesn't. He's doing dollar cost averaging, actually, other than scaling. He says, I have scaled in 10 times into Barber. Yeah, the wrong way, I'm assuming, man. That's dollar cost average investing. That's totally different. Scaling is not dollar cost averaging, man. Absolutely not. And then Mr. Frosty says 100% to scaling has helped me immensely in the last couple of weeks. Good man, Mr. Frosty. I like it. That's awesome. Jap Jacob says scaling is good. Scaling is awesome. And then a few other people here saying very nice things about the scaling. That's good. Kevin N says, hit the thumbs up button. Thank you very much, Kevin. Appreciate that. Sandal77 says, scaling is important. Zooming out to find the best entry levels of resistance support. I scale in with 3 to 4 parts of my initial investment. Perfect, Sandola. That's the way to go. And Adrian says, I'm 80% in crypto. I think my risk level is too high. Well, the thing with crypto is it's hard to sleep just because in one night, in about 1 hour, you can lose 20%. I think with crypto, probably more margin is the big risk there. Margin is the problem. That's why if you're going to look at margin, you really want to stick to the BTCs, the Ethereums, not even maybe the ADA, because it can get wild. You can make great money and then you can lose it all in one trade, unfortunately. Let's move over to some other commodities. Just quickly talk about US oil. So I'm actually looking, I've spoke about this in the private community today. I actually don't mind oil coming back up here. They could hit the first support very well. Great trade there last week. Oil ramping. Now I'm assuming this is because barrel cut or whatever. I don't care. The fundamentals I care very little about with oil. It's all manipulation at the end of the day, so I barely listen. The only thing I care about is if it gets to 65, which I'm not going to instantly sell at because you've got here supports. I want to see a little lightning bolt, guys, to the downside, and then you can look to the short. But on the converse, I don't care if it goes up either. So once it gets here, let's say it does, a gold. Long leg doji, decision made. Let's take that puppy up. I really have no commitment either way here on oil. It hit the first support. Very good. It's been great technically. And now we play the game of getting it back to the swing load zone, 65-ish, and we look to set alerts there and dial in during the trade day. So very big move here from oil earlier. That's going to be good for energy stocks, and that is why you've got the Dow up 0.44%. Why is the Dow so strong? US 10-year and energy stocks doing very good. Roma says, how does one buy oil? So generally, you're just buying a contract for difference. On the American market, you can also buy oil ETFs. Just be careful with oil ETFs, whether they're leveraged, what kind of futures contracts they're trading. As you may notice, the price actually doesn't track oil correctly or degrades. There was a case last year. Look up the word contango. You might want to research that because it's very rare, but when it happens, it can destroy your trade. So oil is not as simple as just looking at this chart. Remember, whenever you go back and you think of history, and I did this myself, and you're looking at an oil chart and you're thinking, I wish I bought oil at $5 last year or 20 cents last year or something. How many of you have gone and done this and you've said, I could buy oil at $10 a barrel? That's the easiest trade of my life. I'm just going to go buy oil at $10. And guaranteed to make money. Eventually goes to 20, yeah? Well, unfortunately for you, the roll contract would destroy you all the way up. So you've got to be, it's a trader's commodity. It is a trader's commodity, guys. You got to be in, you got to be out. You want to look for, at most, pretty much a few weeks to months. You really don't want to hold this thing for a long time. It can absolutely buy you out. Chupa said, I wish I bought at -40. Not really possible, but yes, when that happened, wow, that was full on contango fest. And then Ian Buell says, I got burned on USO last year on the contango when it went negative. Yeah, -40, guys. That was nuts. It wasn't that oil is worth -$40. It's just they couldn't take delivery. So look up that contango. Definitely worthwhile checking out. Dion Brooks says coin is a strong potential $1 trillion MC in a few years. Wow. People are getting crazy on the old coin now. Let's have a look at coin. Still floating around. Still looks kind of sick, doesn't it? Look, I've got the policy that I don't buy anything, except for accidentally bought Snowflake the other day, but because it was such a good price. I don't buy anything that's under 12 months unless I do serious due diligence on it, because I'm telling you, these American IPOs, while America has the best market in the world, guys, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and all these other dudes that sell these very, very overpriced IPOs to you, they seem to know how to get the best price and the best hype out of it, because you come back in 12 months and you're getting potentially $6 instead of the $40 it comes out. Go look at Twitter. Go look at Facebook. Go look at Snap. Go look at any other one of these damn IPOs that's come out over the last years. 90% of them will be the first 12 months were horrors. So yes, coin is at a good level. It's back above the range that we set, which was 256. It's 265. If you like it, you could do a lot worse buying day one than current. I don't mind this level. And especially if you believe Bitcoin's going to go crack new highs, this is an option. But I would also argue, why buy coin when you could buy Bitcoin or Ethereum and make a higher percentage? You'll get a fairly large kind of percentage change on those coins in comparison to the company. But believe me, if Bitcoin goes under 30,000, you think coin's holding this zone? No. And you might say, but Tom, it's a broker. They'd make money off the transaction. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Go look at trading funds and trading firms during crashes. It really doesn't look at that. Tom Gordon coming in with a $5 donation. Thank you very much. Tom Gordon says, big guy. I don't know if I've been referred to as that, but all right. Thank you very much, man. Thoughts on KR? Heard safest stock in the market. Holy moly. Those words scare me. Kroger. Safest stock in the market on a vertical run. Not sure if it's that one. Russell Waite says Burry has predicted 14 of the last 2 crashes. That's pretty good. Very good there, Russell. Very good. KR has a really good run. I hope you're part of it. That's very sweet. Even the closure above here last week was nice. Let's take a look at the weekly. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. Massive pull off, though. Last time it had a pull off like this when it went in Feb, then it got dominated all the way back down. Is this like some stock that got like hype trained last time due to some short sellers on it or something? Let's go to the 1 hour chart. And then we'll start dialing in on a few of these stocks. So we've got US 100.21%. We've got US 500.31% up here, fake market futures. And the Dow leading at a 0.42, mostly due to energy and the US 10-year yield being slightly up, which I assume is making the financials slightly up today. KR, though, do I like it? I think it's probably hyperextended too far away, sir. However, 20 moving average, look at this. Very sweet with the 50 backing it up. If you want to know when things go bad, it'll probably do something like this. lightning bolt. Lightning bolt. Incredible run. Big volume coming through. Excellent stuff. However, yeah, be careful here at this zone. If you're not in it, I wouldn't be in. I wouldn't be buying more of it just yet. And if you want it in the future, you'd be looking for a pullback back to these peaks. So around 40, let me put that on, about 42.80-ish. Kevin N says KR weekly RSI is at 82.4. That's very high. Though that doesn't necessarily, RSI, and this is why I don't use the indicator very often, it's always going to be overbought when you're doing these kind of rallies. You can't use it like that. KR is a grocery store. Berkshire Hathaway bought it. Oh, okay. What's up? True crypto crash equals no coin revenue. Absolutely, Trishan, but it's worse than that because the stock is, it's like valued pure. It's valued on not only hype at the moment of the crypto market, but then also transactions. So it will drop. It'll never become worth zero unless they mismanage the company. But yeah, that's the type of thing you look at. Houston Vision says, Nervos. CKB is my second investment in any crypto after Bitcoin. What is this CKB? When you say you're nervous about it, you just had a sweet day. Why are you sad? Because it's going back. it's like in the crypto world. It's like it goes up, and the same thing in hyperstocks. It's gone up 50%, but now it's down 10%. It's crashing, guys. No, look, this one is pulling back here. Probably look for support around 16. That's your previous resistance where you need support. Good rally, big move. Why did it move here? Is it being listed on one exchange? Was there some other reason? Go find out. Very important with these types of big bull rallies. Tesla. Don't worry, guys. We'll do Tesla. Tesla. Where to start with this stock? The most ridiculous in options out there at the moment. These are the options as taken from Friday. So obviously these are all gone. Goodbye, guys. But I want to point Exhibit A. All right. Exhibit A, $680 strike. The net difference between puts and calls is 16.45 million retail traders buying Tesla. This is a problem, but could be a blessing. So in my perfect evil world of the Piccolo drinking Wall Street peeps, they would be looking to say, hey, 680, we want that underneath by the end of Friday, guys. Okay, let's work on that. But if they let it through and it closed above 680, I feel like that's going to be a pretty damn big thing. Specifically, though, we go over to the technicals because that's not enough. We don't care. But that's just some interesting information. We know it's there. Then we come back over here to the daily and we see long leg doji. Imagine if you get above 697 this week, the retail mad herd. The herd's back, guys. With human robots, people want to buy Tesla. So you want this thing at all costs above 697, 700. And I think that if we actually get above here, and let's say the rest of the market does start to rally, then we get through the 727 as well, and we start to go to that 770. I'd be pretty bullish if those sequence of events occur. The flip side of that is, of course, the negative underneath 673, and then we go back to our trend line. And because we would have gone a peak and a trough and a lower peak and a lower trough potential, this would be very negative. And Michael Burry will come out and say, see, I told you guys. So just be careful. Don't believe the AI hype. Although it's cool, it's not enough to buy the stock on. It's a long way away. So that's more of an investment that you don't care on the price too much than a trade. Long leg doji makes Tesla very hard. You got to be super careful because you get ripped up in the exchange of randomness that goes here. Here was a trigger to sell into the trend line. It did. The trend line is a trigger to potentially buy. It did. Where are you right now? In the middle of nowhere. And that's why it's hard to predict it with any kind of likelihood when you're talking about this zone right now. All right, we'll go through rapid fire in just a few seconds here. ResMed on the ASX, please, from Alec Diefenbach, $5 Australian. Thank you very much. We'll do ResMed. ResMed are known in Australia for a couple of things. Pretty good stock. Obviously, medical stock overall, doing very, very well at the moment. Let's have a look at the weekly. Look, it's on a massive rally. I never bet against the old healthcare stocks. They just can go. I've told you guys, I love healthcare, guys. It's the best industry to be in. People pay a lot of money to not effectively die. That is what they pay for. Here is the best way to follow this, man. 4-hour 20. It's just way too good. So even pullbacks, you're just looking for the 4-hour 20 to hold up. 4-hour 20 is busted. It'll probably go to the 50. 50 gets busted. It's not really about the 50 at that point. Let's say it goes down more. Then you're looking for lightning bolt downside. Remember, change of trend or COT is what you're looking for in recognizing the end of this. But at the moment, the glorious 20 is holding. Good luck. Good luck. Percy Henderson, no message, but $5 support. Thank you very much, Percy. I can see that it looks like you like Snoopy. So very cool. Do you have an Amiga Snoopy watch, Percy? Because if you do, it's worth a lot of money. Speedmaster Snoopy watches, guys. Silverliner says, healthcare is my favorite. And then Michael H., big fan here. Edit is the best gene stock to be in. Edit, Beam, they're all good. They're all good. Mostly a basket of them is the way to go. All right, guys, let's do the rapid fire here. Let's get through all these stocks straight away. We are 10 minutes off the market open. So we'll go to the daily and we'll go through some rapid fire. We'll start with Square. So technically Square did close above here, long leg doji. If you were looking at this into the close, you would have usually taken a buy position just because long leg doji round the right area, you would have been bullish on it. It is going to open up. It looks like 1.33%. Do I like it? I'm actually looking more at PayPal at the moment from the perspective of price. I've got alert set PayPal. I think PayPal has got really good alerting at 281. And it's only 275 this morning. So if it closed above 281, I would actually quite like that base. I would love to see this on PayPal. This is my more favored actual stock right now in terms of price action than Square. I love Square, guys. But yeah, the price action, it'd just be really take the close, sell at the open kind of event there. We've done Apple. Let's move over to Amazon. Amazon continues to kind of look crap on the charts. As we said, after Bezos left, everything else, things started to get a little bit poor. 50 moving average was reached last week, though. So you'll notice here, support. Trend line got through. That was a big deal. It's come to the 3,200, which is, of course, a psychological point and previous little level of support. I would look for structure to form here this week. The structure forming here. Let's see if we can get some. We'll come back, revisit this. I'm looking for long leg doji. I'm looking for algo flow. I'm looking for all sorts of things. This is a little bullish hammer, but again, a little bit too close to call. I would actually go also check a 2-day out and see this. Look for a closure maybe above this level here, which is about 3,235. Too early to call on Amazon, but it is at the first level of support. Next level, 3,100, then 3,000. Google continues to trend up. All you're looking at here is the daily 20. Underneath the daily 20, bad things. Key support to watch in the future will be that level there. That's about it. Snowflake, pretty damn bad Friday. Did recover heavily. I'm looking for this to fill the gap and then find some resistance. I actually feel like this was weird coming into 2 days until the news announcement. So just be careful there. We'll move this over to the full screen. We'll go N phase. N phase looks okay, actually. Go down to the 2-hour chart. I don't mind what we're starting to see here in terms of recovery. There are reasons for this, which I'll explain in a second. Closure above, decent amount of structure starting to come through. Looking for a movement above 168. Microsoft, a lot of people saying to me, oh, Tom, should we short it? Should we short it? I would never short anything that's just because I think it's overpriced or I think it's expensive. One thing I will note is that on the weekly, it's been a long time since we've seen a big candle like this. And what you'll notice is that when a big candle, it actually did happen here though as well. When a big candle happened, you got that kind of mass. This is what happens before crashes. Generally, you see the whole market have this big rally and then it pulls back. Even if this wasn't the pandemic, the market planned to do this. And I'll show you how. Look at this. 27th of January, 3rd of Feb. So we already knew about the virus at this point. It was running hard and then bang, it dumped on you. And that's very traditional of a standard kind of, kill for Wall Street to get it done on you. They usually push it really heavily and then create sideways action to bearish action. So be careful here on Microsoft. If you want to short it, bear, put spreads. If you want to know where to pick it up in the future, 20 moving average has been exceptional. So you can check that one out and we'll see how that plays out. ARK, whatever. It's not much to do there. ARKG still looks negative on this chart. Peak, trough, lower peak, lower trough. Beam looks okay on the charts. Let's go down the daily. Quite nice. Still getting a bit of buying here. You can see Beam's up 2.99% this morning. I think it looks all right, guys, but it's very risky stock. So it moves a lot. Speaking of risky stocks, Edit, another one at the roll reversal. I feel like Beam and Edit both have some good potential in them. You can see how high they went. Look for smaller time frame, probably like 2 hour. Looking for the double bottom, I would say. Movement through 60. What is this? 65. So yeah, today, if it closes above there, double bottom in, should be running pretty strong. Crisp, still very weak at support, possibly undervalued, but price action not showing us anything good. SPLK, continue, or smaller time frame double bottom here actually on SPLK. Let's see, pick up off this zone would be good. Doesn't move like 10% in a day though, but it's not bad. CRM, certainly broken out. Let's go to the daily, show you guys what's up. Very nice breakout last week. Boomer stonk, but very nice breakout. Series of higher lows. I actually quite like this. Looks good. Price target 269. Disney. Ugh, not much to say. Big support coming through. I wouldn't go with too much there. QCOM. Underneath my trend line. I'm not loving it, I got to say. From an investment side, do I think it's undervalued? Partially, yes. But from a trade side, can't see it. TDOC, drawing this one up. I'm looking for base to be formed. Go down to the 2 hour. I'm actually going to look for it to get above 144. 144 plus. Hopefully, maybe a lightning bolt here. I actually quite like the base if that does form on TDOC. Keep looking. Baba, falling knife, guys. Get him in the chat. Baidu, falling knife, guys. Get him in the chat. JD on support, but still falling knife. We have to get the knives out, guys, because they're everywhere. Twilio or whatever. Really good resistance if it does swing up. I don't know how I feel about this level yet, so we'll keep watching. You've got so many little resistances here. 1, 2, 3. So a closure above this, again, could be a good little trigger point to get you back into the 362. Nvidia, very strong moves here. Look for a closure above and then pull back would be probably the way I'd look at it if you're not already in. But it does look nice in the pre-session. We've got pins. Still nothing there on pins underneath. And this is TAN. So this is the solar kind of ETF. We've got 3 minutes till market open, so we'll finish up in a sec here. I don't mind the support. I'm looking for further push through for the 81, and I would dial into smaller time frames. Roku, too early to call. Etsy, Etsy actually looks pretty good. I noticed the algo trade was going down though on the Friday, but that is the type of thing you look for breakout here on Etsy. You've got resistances, 3 peaks, 1, 2, 3. And a dirty, nice big closure. So look for follow through here today, 210 on Etsy. KO continues to float around its peak. So nothing much there on Coke. Spot looks good. Buyback. Take it what you want. Netflix. Nothing much. If you were in it, cool. Looks good still. FCX never broke through, so now it's all the way back down. We can dump that. Unity, beautiful pickup for anyone that got that. We've been following this for quite a few days. Beautiful pickup. Congrats to Unity traders. Very, very nice. Houston Vision says, I have a feeling that today the gap up will be sold off quickly. There's weakness in the market, probably will close around 4,400 again. Yeah, that's right. And then Akash Chopra says $2 TTD, please, if you have time. And Big Dipper sends through a $3 super sticker. Thank you very much, Big Dipper. And we got Akash Chopra, $2. Good morning, Tom. Thank you very much, sir. I think we've caught up there. We'll do TTD. Oh, we'll have to get into the market, actually. We'll do that in just a second, bro. Okay. Here comes the market. US 500 looking to open currently at 0.37%. I think the big one to watch here is the US 100. It's at the peak. Oops. At the peak, and this is the one that rallied heavily. For day traders, they're probably looking around this price. So you can see here, let's go to the 15-minute chart. See the support coming through here in the fake market futures, about 15,126. That might be an interesting zone to see if the market closes underneath there. I feel like that's where the bears get a bit of control, and there are some descending signs here in the smaller time frame. If you're going bullish, you really need to wait for it to go close above the resistance of 5180. All right, guys, ding, 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 ding. We are open. We've got Tesla here on the right-hand side, 684. US 500 opens up. Remember, a lot of movement here from US oil early, 4.59% off the back of the deal. I assume that's a deal that's coming through. Green, green, green. Look at all the green. Edit up 6.46%. CRISPR up 3% now. Where's the Beam? Up 2.72. It's a good day to be in buyer. Very nice. Early start. Everything up. US 100 only up 0.28, so the worst of all the markets so far. Remember, first kind of hour on Mondays can be sometimes a bit of a fake out. When markets come in green, they often end red. So you're looking for specific stocks. Microsoft holding back due to its large move through the Friday session. JD, the best of the Chinese stocks in terms of support, showing a 3.8% gain. A few people will be happy with that. Let's check out the Webull. Go to the large companies. There we go. Okay, so percentage changes here coming in early. BioNTech. I feel like that one's always BNTX is either number one or the number one either red or number one either green. It always is. And then we've got the other side. We've got DoorDash down here, Costco wholesale. That's a consumer staple. Got a few consumer staples coming off. That's important if you believe in the bull run. You don't really want consumer staples doing the best. You want the tech to do the best. Square up 2.29%, Roku up 2%. So Roku might come in. If it does get a nice daily close, maybe we can start really looking at that as a repair tomorrow. Roku still down heavily off its highs, heavily. PayPal up 1.2%, very nice. Looking for that. That PayPal trade 280 could be very cool later on this week. And banks are up as well. So early rally here, 15,160. You cannot stop the tech market in the US. You cannot stop the market in general. What do they say? Don't fight the Fed. Oh my goodness. ADA, look at that. 283. We'll do the trade desk. There's a request here. Go to the daily. Oh, tough. Tough, tough, tough. $80.30. closure above here. Move back to 88. I feel like that's probably the better. Just wait for a little bit more. It is a decent buy here. Previous resistance, previous support across that line. Previous consolidation. I'd be looking for it to get through here, but not bad at all. So early greens across the market, very nice to see. Nothing really wrong with it as long as you kept your calls in or kept your positions in last week. Fell through that kind of what looked like a little bit of a market crash. S&P 500 50 exponential remains the key crash level or correction level for the market. It's been bought up way too many times to count. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. If you're wondering where do the triggers of everyone just piling in, I'm looking at the Nasdaq 5180 plus close, probably a 5200 close would be a very significant closure. And that's because we've got a bit of a range here in the Nasdaq. So 5155 early. It's what happens today at the close. Remember, guys, if you're trading, especially on more of the day trade swing side, maybe start looking at the close. Come in 10 minutes before. And what we'll be doing actually coming up in October is we might even move the stream to the close. That will be pretty awesome, I think. What do you guys think about that? Do a closure stream for a while. Can you look at the DXY getting destroyed? Absolutely. But I don't mind the DXY getting destroyed to this level. I wouldn't pick it up just yet, but I am happy with this. This is why you don't catch the falling knife, guys. This is a very good resistance on DXY, becoming a level of interesting support. I want to get in. I like the DXY, but I need to see more. So what I mean by that is it could get as low as kind of this, I feel. I wonder if that actually goes all the way. No, it doesn't. That's just me drawing random lines. So I would like the DXY. I would box this. And the good thing about what you can do in TradingView is you can box up. So I would create like a range. And then I would usually set an alert for the top of the range so I can come look at the price action. And if a market's just going bang, 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 especially in currency trading or commodities, you don't necessarily just want to buy the dip. Remember, this has no real fair value. It's a floating rate across the board. So because of that, we don't want to just necessarily buy the dip. So the market's currently coming down. If it hits here, bounces, does this, bounces, does this, you better believe we'll be checking out the DXY tomorrow. You better believe it. A few people like the closure. A few people say no. Duncan Dave says do an hour before and an hour after the close. Oh my God. I would want to do half an hour into the close. So both way. Well, close is okay because you can actually, it would be easier for me in some ways. But anyway, we'll see what happens. ACK says no. Very good. All right, guys. Well, look, it looks like it's a green morning here. If you've been in stocks and you're picking them up last week, congrats. Look at Square Go off that long leg doji into the buy. Wow. Rallying hard early here. How's the old PayPal looking? How's the old PayPal looking? Also, not as good, but I would love to see that through 280. Just from a TA perspective more than anything else. All right, well, it's a pretty good day. Not too bad. I'm very happy with my bios. Old Edit getting 8.65% done. Beam 2.2. CRISPR 3.57. Very decent. CRISPR coming off the base. Wouldn't mind this actually close like this. Rejection, bullish close. We've quite a strong signal here. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to all you guys for coming out, obviously watching the streams as per usual. And we will see you same time, same place tomorrow. And again, a daily recap tomorrow as well. Catch everyone. Good luck. And we will see you in the next live stream or video. Bye for now.